everybody. Welcome to Boss Rush Podcast. I'm your host, the enlightened and exciting Eddie V. Joining me as always is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Bossman himself. Not Bossman, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Wisconsinite.
He's mixing us.
We're merging into one human.
Exactly. Mr. Jesse Douglas.
How's it going, everyone?
Yes, of course, it's Bossman, the one that I salute and I apologize to. Corey Derrick himself.
Hello, I'm here. Jesse and I are turning into a massive transformer now.
Yep.
We're like a Voltron. We're like Voltron now. I call the left leg. I don't know why. It just happened.
And we have a special guest joining us. He's the founder, host, and producer at Borderline Entertainment. Everybody, please welcome Asa GreenRiver.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here, guys.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Oh, it's nice to have some new company. So
yeah, people are tired of listening to us. People are tired of listening to us, so that's why I think like 2 out of our last 4 shows have been just not us.
Well, before we get into it, Asa, do you want to just tell everybody what about Borderline Entertainment and a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have a group called Borderline Entertainment. We're located here in Columbus, Ohio. We do a lot of different things, really split off into 2 facets, though. So we've got the content creation side of things where there's streams and podcasts, some other projects that are coming that I can't talk about right now. And then the other side of the business is we do PR, publisher relations, marketing, things like that for small indie devs and video game adjacent companies. So very
nice.
new, very fresh.
That's awesome. And tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, how did you get into gaming and how did you get into content creating?
Yeah, man, how I got into gaming, that would probably be up to my parents because I feel like I was born into it, if I'm being honest. I remember that golden cartridge, Legend of Zelda, with my NES growing up.
Yes.
Like, from that point on, it was history. I mean, it was gaming and myself was just synonymous in my life. So that's just something that's always been there. As far as content creation, I knew that there was always something that I always wanted to work in games, but I didn't know how. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a very traditional background, so you're either going to be a teacher, doctor, lawyer. Like there's really nothing creative, and that's not to say my parents weren't supportive because they were. It's just I don't know. It's just what was presented in front of us. So getting that entry point into the industry was always kind of escaping me. So I think it was probably 2015. I'm a huge consumer of like IGN and GameSpot, and then was Screw Attack. And then that's when you saw the guys from Kinda Funny break off of IGN and just start doing podcasts and YouTube videos. And I was like, that's it? That's how you do it? You can just start doing it, and you're doing it. And I was like, okay, well, I think I'm just going to start too. So started small with some like podcasts and YouTube videos, and then got into the streaming space, and the rest is history, I guess.
All right.
Sounds like awesome. Sounds like a 1v1 is in this man's future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. Well, before we get on, just got some quick housekeeping to do. For those who don't know, this is the Boss Rush Podcast. We're each and every week live on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games live. You guys could check that out. Corey, Jesse, and myself, as well as our friends from around the internet, come together to share our passion for games. If you can't join us live on Saturdays, no big deal. You can head on over to youtube.com/BossRushGames or your favorite podcast service Monday mornings to catch the show. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, rate, and review whenever you consume it or wherever you consume it. I'm getting this stuff messed up. I'm apologizing, everybody.
Sounds like Ed just woke up. Sounds like Ed needs a nap.
Follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast, and remember you can see all of our content on BossRushGames.com. I've kind of been off my game because there's been just a lot of stuff that I've been doing and everything.
Well, stop doing so much, Ed. Is that what you always tell me?
Right. And when I do it and take a break, I actually take one, not you.
I know. To be fair, I
You
am.
did take a break yesterday.
I did. Actually, I didn't. I was up till 1:30 playing Destiny with my friend Mitch, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, because like we were supposed to do the retro game show yesterday. You didn't message me.
I know. I forgot. To be honest, I forgot. And then I was like, I don't want to stream. I'm tired. And then I got on and played Destiny anyway. So.
But you didn't stream it or anything, right?
No.
Just played it.
No, I was not in a. I need to be hyped for this mood. I just wanted to be relax, and I laid on the couch and actually. Don't tell my friend Mitch, but I kind of we were doing his Thorn quest. He wants to get Thorn real bad, and all he has to do is finish the strike. And I kind of fell asleep towards the end, but then I woke up because my controller rumbled because I died. So, whoops. Sorry, Mitch.
Reminds me of Sea of Thieves.
What, when you fall asleep and we just, Jesse and I just have a dance party around you before we push you off the boat to kill you?
Yeah.
Which we got to get to that again sometime.
Yeah.
I know.
I think an update just happened.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I got to go and check for it. I need to pop it in and play and see the updates and stuff. But Asa, how have you been doing in this quarantine time? Have you been, playing a lot of games? Have you been driving yourself crazy, writing? Because there's been a lot of people who be like, I cannot stay in the house one more day. Screaming that at the rooftop and everything. But how have you been handling things?
So coincidentally, my wife and I actually just had our first child right before quarantine.
Ooh.
So it was a pretty easy transition to go from paternity time, just transition straight into quarantine. So as far as like game playing, man, it's been so off and on because it's whenever my son goes to sleep or whenever we get some downtime. Mm-hmm. Like earlier I think when he was like 1 or 2 months old, I was able to, obviously I'm up during the night, so I'm like, well, I'll just get some gaming in. So just, played with him sleeping on my chest. So that was a good time. Now it's just literally whenever I can get time because he's 5 months old now and super attentive, really growing, needs more attention, takes up time.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing some games.
Yeah, I know how that feels. Congratulations on that, though, by the way. It's exciting.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
My wife and I are talking about that second one. So, yeah. That's exciting. Kids are exciting. Yes. My kid is rambunctious, though. She just, like, sprints up and down the hallway, and she's crazy. She'll probably, if she wakes up early from her nap, she'll probably come in here and try to say hi to everybody, but...
We had a week of meetings, and she was like the secretary in the sense. Well, you guys want to jump into some news because
yes.
Because wow, Microsoft has just did some major moves this week. One of them is that they are halting production on the Xbox One X and all the digital Xbox One S. As it prepares for an influx of new generation hardware, Microsoft is discontinuing some Xbox One models. According to a report from The Verge, Microsoft will no longer make the Xbox One S all digital edition. Surprisingly, the company is also discontinuing the more powerful Xbox One X system. While the move limits consumers' options if they want to buy a current gen system, the Xbox One isn't going away completely. Microsoft says the disc-based Xbox One S will continue to be produced and sold. If you've been hoping to pick up either one of the discontinued systems, you still have a chance. Retailers still need to clean out the stock of already produced systems, so you might be able to get them before they're gone.
Yeah, I can totally see the Xbox One X's. You can find them for like $300 now, but I could see them dropping to probably around $250 or $200 easily close to the end of the summer.
Well, this is the crazy thing. I can't find it nowhere. I've been looking for the One X, and Target don't have it. Best Buy, Walmart, all of them, they don't have it anywhere.
Yeah, like by me, a lot of places too. They're all through quarantine. The Xboxes were all gone.
Yeah.
And all that was the only console that had any on the shelf still was the Pros, PS4 Pros.
Our pros, all our pros are gone too. Like all systems. Only thing that you could probably find is like a 2DS.
Yeah, we had like two 2DSs by us.
Who's buying
I
that?
Almost did. I almost
What's
did.
interesting
I sold
about
that steering wheel.
I'm surprised that they're discontinuing the X and not the S, since the X is more powerful.
Exactly.
I think my theory is that the Series S is going to be cheaper and more powerful. So if people want that in between thing, that it's gonna be cheaper or be just as much as buying an X. Because if they release the Series S and it's the same price as the X, that's gonna look bad. That's gonna look kind of dumb. Like, who's gonna buy the X when they can get the next gen version? So I think that's what they're gonna do. I think it's gonna be like $300 or for the discless one, or cheaper.
I think it's gonna be more than what.
I don't think.
I think
it's.
Go ahead, Egg.
I think it's gonna be more because everything that they're manufacturing into it.
Doesn't matter. They want to undercut Sony as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that even though you want to undercut them, that system is going to probably be at $400 some dollars.
Well, here's the thing, because I think the Series X is going to be probably 500 unless Sony goes 500. I think the Series X is going to be about 500, and I bet the Series S is going to be about $350. And if the Xbox One X still retails, $399.99 MSRP, you can get a cheaper box. If the Series S is $350, you can get a more powerful, cheaper box than the Xbox One X. Which, don't get me wrong, Xbox can always drop the price on the Xbox One X to hit that, but essentially the same price for a more powerful box is still kind of like, I don't know. I think it makes sense, because if you're going to use the Xbox One S to maybe as like their xCloud streaming box at some point in the future, like, to me that makes sense.
But the thing about this, they have to mass produce the One S while mass producing the Series X, because you can't.
Well, who's to say that they're not? Who's to say that at the end of the year they're not going to stop producing the One S too?
I think once productions and stuff start ramping back for all three console manufacturers, you're going to see a lot of stock and back orders and stuff coming in. Because at this point in time, a lot of stores are still out. They've been out for years for consoles. So it wouldn't make no sense of let's just do some One S's and then fill everybody up with Series X, or PlayStation 4 Pro with PlayStation 5, and then switches with switch lights. It's just like trying to catch up on all of that.
I don't know. I just say Xbox.
It's going to be weird.
Xbox has a history of really stopping production as soon as the Xboxes are out anyway. Once the Xbox One was out, it was really hard to find 360s. Once, when the 360 came out, you couldn't find an original Xbox anywhere. So,
the only thing that would make me think the opposite of that is because, Phil Spencer said that their goal is for people to play games anywhere. That they're not going to release games on the Series X that you're not going to be able to play on the Xbox One. And so if they're continuing with this verbiage of play these games anywhere, I think if they were to take away one of those avenues for people who aren't ready to jump to next gen, wouldn't make too much sense. Like, I completely get where you're coming from, because that has been their past MO. But I feel like this is a new Xbox that's moving forward.
Do you think that they just, like, if you want to play it on the old series, you have to play it on Game Pass? We're not doing the disc no more. Or, if you want to buy it, you only can buy it digitally. With Series X, it's going to be the physical and digital. When I would say by next year. because it wouldn't make no sense that first party and third party are still putting games out for 1S while they're really trying to get their money back on Series X.
I mean, I could see them doing that, especially since they just made that announcement that they're partnering Game Pass and Project xCloud together.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're putting out games on, Project xCloud, I've been, playing Halo on my phone with that. So I think they can just keep releasing
games. Rub it in, everybody. Keep rubbing it in. Still waiting.
You can keep releasing games to that and still enjoy those games on your
iPhone.
Well, we'll probably. I think once they give out more details about xCloud, how they go about it, because as great as the idea as xCloud is, I think like I'm starting to feel weary about it. And me and Jesse, I think I told you this, Corey. Me and Jesse, we spent like 40 minutes talking about Xbox Thursday. Like I called them and driving, and we was literally podcasting in the car, pretty much. And I mentioned, like me and Jesse I had mentioned to him, I was just like, what if every game that you buy if you buy it digitally, every game that you buy digitally, it goes automatically to your xCloud. And so
I said that basically does with the Xbox with the streaming app, because anything that you own, you're just playing it off of your Xbox instead of the servers. That's all. So like it already does that. You don't really have to.
It's basically PlayStation Remote Play. It's basically what it is at that point.
But there are some third-party titles that's not xCloud. That's not on xCloud. So I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. If you own it
doesn't
digitally,
matter.
You can still play it.
Yeah, it won't matter. Your entire library will work once this launches. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Are they going to make every game that you buy digitally?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Everything. Yep. Anything that you can play on your Xbox, you can play through that. Yeah. Because all it's doing is it's playing it off of your console while you're gone from your house and streaming it to your phone.
Ed,
only reason why hold on, Corey. Only reason why I say that is because they were just like only 100 games were on xCloud now.
That was for the preview. That was for the preview program.
But when they go full, they're going to open it. Yeah. And that's why I was weary, because I didn't know how everything was going to roll out. If they was going to just like everything that you digitally buy on Xbox, you could play in xCloud. Go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's streaming. That's why xCloud is a different service. That's being able to play games you don't own off of a server.
Yeah, basically, you know how PlayStation's Remote Play works, right? Like you just that's basically what it's going to be, is Remote Play. At that point,
where you just switch it from the system to another platform. Yeah. Okay. So. Because that's what I was, and that's why it was weird when they said, when this preview wanted you could play 100 games plus, and now they're connected to Game Pass.
Well, it's
just like, what about the new stuff that if you buy?
Yeah, it's just the preview only had 100 games because they were trying to, get this. I mean, it's just a it's like a beta, right? Like you just trying to figure out how it's working.
Well, and again, xCloud is something different. It's not. Yeah. It's like xCloud is, like I said, it's like having Game Pass. But but basically what PlayStation Now is, was I should say, all the games that are on the xCloud, not the console streaming part of the app, but xCloud is games that are there. You can click on it and play it. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to, it just streams it from a server. Okay. Because that's the difference. But they had to put the console streaming app in, so then they can make sure that you can play any game that you own.
Because the third party
and that's free to everyone.
The third party stuff, I was just like, what happens with that when you buy it and stuff? Are they making it part of the if they're gonna make it part of it? Is it if you buy it, you gotta wait 3 months for it to go live on xCloud or anything, or when you straight buy it, bam, it's on xCloud.
Yep.
Okay.
Whatever you can play on your Xbox, you can play through the streaming, the console streaming app. So.
Okay. And that's why I asked you that question, because of I guess the preview thing that you mentioned, Corey.
Yeah, and I was confused by that. I had said at one point that you can just play all that through the console streaming part of the app, but it's so hard to talk about things like that sometimes when you.
Yeah, it was just weird on how I guess the way that they was doing the beta of it was going to go live was the same thing going to happen. It's just live, and then they just add games month by month or week by week.
Yeah, and I think they're probably working on like stabilizing stuff and all that. Like the testing stuff is basically people pushing it and testing its limits and things so they can try to tweak stuff and make it run properly, and so.
Do you guys all think that xCloud is good to be played on the phone, or do you think that you need a bigger screen to really enjoy it?
I was fine on my phone. I mean, because really the only thing that was hindering is like your connection to the internet. Everything else ran perfectly fine. I will say the one thing that was a bummer was, at least for me, I wasn't having any rumble in my controller, and that's going from an Xbox One controller to a PS4 controller. There was just no haptic feedback or anything, but other than that, games played fine.
Okay.
Right, because it looks like, will that somewhat be like the new Switch for Microsoft, in a sense that you now could carry your games with you, in a sense, carry your games with you on the phone or tablet? Because when I was talking to Jesse, I was just like, I think they're going to be pushing more. I know they're going to be trying to get it everywhere, but if I was Microsoft, I would be trying to push xCloud and everything I can with my Surface tablet on the go, so people could get a better experience with that.
Well, and see, to your point, like, if this is going to be Microsoft's Switch, I think they're going to put their games on the Switch. I mean, we've already seen Ori and Cuphead, and they've said, I thought it was 2018, that they were going to bring Xbox. It was a very vague statement, but they were going to bring Xbox to the Switch, that they were working together. So I could see them bringing xCloud as an app on the Switch itself in that partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if they did that, that would be, ultimate, just because the Switch already has controllers built into it, like it would.
Exactly. You don't want to fight Nintendo in the handheld game. Like, I love my Sony handhelds. I'll fight for them to my last breath, but nobody beats Nintendo when it comes to the handheld game. And Microsoft knows that.
Yeah. So.
Can't beat them, join them.
xCloud coming to Nintendo Switch. You heard it here. Well, no, you didn't. Never mind.
You heard it here like a year or two ago. We said that it was going to.
Right. Well, we've been trying to see if Game Pass would show up on Switch than xCloud.
Well, I think it would, but it would show up through xCloud. You would have to have xCloud, and then that would allow you to access Game Pass.
But it sounds like to have xCloud, you need Game Pass, the ultimate. I said.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, yeah, kind of.
You probably just have to pay for it separately. I'm sure we'll find out more about it at some point. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to jump into our next story. I cannot believe this is actually happening. Lego NES officially unveiled. After early tease, Lego today revealed details about its newest building set, which looks like one that will have special significance for gamers. The Lego Nintendo Entertainment System is a faithful brick recreation of the old system, and even includes a controller and a game pack that can be slotted into the opening. Don't forget to blow on the cartridges first. And one especially fun extra feature, the set includes a retro TV that allows for a scrolling screen effect accomplished by a crank on the side of the TV. The scrolling TV also includes a cool feature where you can scan the Lego Mario from the recent Lego Super Mario starter course and have him react to on-screen enemies and obstacles on the scrolling TV. The new throwback Lego set is going to be available beginning in August through Lego retail stores and on Lego.com, and through order retails beginning in 2021. And you guys can check that video out. And all of these stories are coming from Game Informer. I Nintendo's making moves. I mean, I think they already had a good relationship with Lego, with the Lego Wii controller, and to like literally see them go forward with them to be like, yeah, we're trying to get our brand out to different places. Lego is kind of one of the best ideas and decisions that they made to work with. And seeing this, I'm just like, please give me a Rob the Robot one.
Yeah, I know that. I was thinking that too. Yeah, it's 2,646 pieces.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it like almost $400 or $500 or something? I forget how much it costs.
What the
it's the whole set thing of it's $230.
That's not bad.
Wait,
it's not bad.
That's not expensive for Lego.
Set for 230. Lego's site initially listed the set at 200, then at 300. Then spokesperson called that earlier pricing information a glitch. So $230 for it. Yeah, that's honestly, in the grand scheme of things, really not that bad.
Yeah,
a lot of their stuff can be
because a lot of their Star Wars stuff, like the big sets, are about like $250.
Yeah.
So the Millennium Falcon's like $600. The big one. The big one.
Yeah, like massive one.
Yeah, we had to sell that at Toys, and we literally had to lock that up and keep it in our stock room. Like, you could not even, like, you could ask for it. You had to have a piece of paper, and you had to stay at the register. We had to bring it to them in order to sell it.
Yeah, when I was in Disney, they have a Lego store in downtown, and right at the front entrance was was the Millennium Falcon that year, and I was like, I want that, but also, how do you carry this on a plane? And also, it's huge.
And also,
that was in 2000.
I mean, I would build it if I had time. I just don't have time. I barely have time to do the things I want to do, let alone this extra hobby, so.
But what do you think about this Lego set?
So
I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, I was really excited. Oh no, you're fine, Jesse. I was really excited about this Lego set. I started collecting like little mini build sets for my son before he was born, and have just been trying to like build up that collection. So once he gets to the age, we can have it. Because I never had Legos growing up. I had Lincoln Logs, and that was it. I was lucky to get Mega Blocks. But yeah, so I'm definitely living vicariously through my kid, and I will with this too. Like, it's to the point that my wife's like, Asa, you don't need any more Legos. Like, you've got easily 5-6 years before he can even like hold the things without eating them. So, but no, I think this is really cool.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they haven't did like a Super Mario Duplo set, or a Legend of Zelda Duplo set or something.
Well, I think actually, that's all on whether they purchase the rights or whatever to do it.
Yeah,
I could see them doing actually a Paper Mario Duplo set.
An origami.
So, which kind of brings me to, would Sony ever do anything like that, like team up with Mega Bloks or Lego? Do you think they have enough franchises to do something?
I mean, we've already seen Microsoft do that, right? With Halo and Bungie with Destiny, right? Like those exist. So I mean,
yeah, Cuphead's massive. Everything you can get everything Cuphead.
But in terms of Sony, what are even their brands that would even fit that at this point?
I mean,
I feel like Uncharted and stuff. They do things.
They got the Pop series.
Yeah, Knack.
Like,
they could do the whole G.I. Joe thing with Uncharted, where you have the little set pieces and the characters.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool. Because they've had Indiana Jones Legos before, haven't they? I feel like they have.
Yeah.
Because they got the Lego gang, so they did the toys and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like Sony, they've pretty much they only have done the Pop series. So like Horizon they've done, God of War they've done, but they haven't did.
You
like,
can get characters. You can get like characters of like the Uncharted characters and
Yeah.
And things like that. I mean, they've done some of that stuff, and like, you know, like I got the Crash Bandicoot thing, but that's not really just Sony anymore. But there are things you can get, but yeah, I feel like as popular as a lot of their games are, they really have not capitalized on any of that kind of stuff. Because like I said, now you go anywhere and they're like, I can find Cuphead anything, like every, like you can get cups with Cuphead on it. You can get a Cuphead cup. You can get, you know, shirts. You can get stickers. You can get keychains. You can get, you know, like there's just everything.
It's also about the demographics and the mass markets that they appeal to.
Yeah.
Like when you think about a Halo, wait, who makes those? Because it's not Lego.
It's Mega Bloks.
Yeah, it's
Mega Bloks. Okay, so like when you think about that, there aren't really too many kids that are playing Halo. For them, they're probably like, oh, look, it's just a cool robot guy. I feel like those are made for us. You know, the ones who are actually playing Halo. So like when you think of Sony series, you're right. Like I can't think of too many that like kids are really gonna care about.
Yeah.
Did you think it's because a lot of their stuff is more mature, and so it's not appealing to kids because those games are not meant for them?
Although unfortunately, they also make the Call of Duty blocks, and unfortunately, I'm sure there's a lot of kids that should not be playing Call of Duty that buy those.
Yeah, and that's where that's during the early Call of Duty series, they were just selling the games to everybody, and if you was a parent, you met the requirements, you could buy that game for the kid. No store can't stop you if you follow the procedure that the store is implemented. So. Yeah, 13, 7-year-olds, all of them had the Call of Duty stuff because their parents were just like, they didn't care. You know, the kid asked for it, parent went and bought it. So it became a well-known name. And so I think they probably care. I think some people care more about the game than the Lego stuff or the Mega Bloks, the toy stuff, which is kind of weird because you would think that people will start buying, like, oh, my kid loves this game. I see it in Mega Bloks. I could get it for their birthday.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. And honestly, main reason that I don't even think the game so much itself is like the reason that I think it's just weird that, you know, when younger kids play it, it's honestly it's the toxic people on there that are, you know, I just don't want my kids learning, you know, learning.
But you gotta
stuff, and you know, like I'd rather they just not even know that word exists.
But you'd be surprised that those are the kids that's using it. It's the parents that don't want them to use it. They're the ones that's using it because if your kid is being, you know, if you're not attending to them or realizing that a lot of people are going to be playing this big major game that's been in the news and stuff, you kind of people just like they buy for the kid and they go about their business. They got to go talk to Mary about some gossip that happened in the news. And so if your 7-year-old is being occupied with Call of Duty, they don't care about any of that until they actually catch their kids saying that stuff.
I mean, you saw that same thing happen with Fortnite. So
yeah.
So Legos.
Legos.
So, and now our final story, because all I only could say was what to this whole thing. This is insane. U.S. Army allegedly ran fake controller contests on Twitch. A giant scathing piece of the U.S. Army using recruiting tactics on children as young as 13 ran in the nation yesterday. The original piece is a lot to take in, but one aspect is the military allegedly using Twitch as a vessel to run bait and switch contests that send users to a link that purports to offer them a chance at winning an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller with heavy customization options. Instead, the link allegedly sent them to a recruitment forum that has zero mention of the contest at all. Sign up for a controller, get a spot in the Army. That's not how this is supposed to work, is it? Automated links that shoot out at scheduled intervals are nothing new on Twitch. Many popular streamers use it to broadcast Discord channels, brands, contests, and even just reminders to like, share, and subscribe. But this is just tricking people into heading to a recruitment site via controller contest appears far outside of what the rules allow. Twitch responded to a Kotaku inquiry about the shady tactics being used. The murky controller contests have been removed via Twitch's requirements. Per our terms of service, promotions on Twitch must comply with all applicable laws, a Twitch spokesperson told Kotaku. This promotion did not comply with our terms, and we have required them to remove it. If you're looking for more information on how video games and streaming services are being used to recruit for the U.S. Army, there's a lot more in the Nation piece. What?
Yeah, I saw this pop up yesterday, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Like, yeah.
Oh, it's not a good look. Not gonna lie, it's not a good look.
No.
So
those are some sketchy tactics.
Yeah.
And like we're literally just talking about impressionable kids playing Call of Duty, playing Fortnite. Imagine, like, you've got your no scope skills and you're like, oh, I can get a free controller to be better. Well, why don't you practice your no scope skills in real life? You know, like that's it's a not a good look whatsoever.
No.
Yeah, like,
fortunately, there's a lot of sketchy stuff that goes along with that.
But then it's just like it's worse. Like, do we not have enough recruitments for the U.S. Army? Are they in need of people? And so they got to reach out to the gamers.
They're always in need of people.
I don't know. It's just a bad tactic. It's just a bad look, especially for something that's like government related. Like that's just it's just not good. So there's certain things that you just, you know. I mean, like it's one thing to have, like, let's say, like, Microsoft is having some kind of, like, you know, like big like setup where people can come and play games and, you know, blah blah blah, and then have like a section that's for, like, you know, the military, or, you know, military people, or, you know, like where you can like interact with them and stuff, you know, like doing just a regular traditional, like, you know, outside thing. But yeah, to be just like lying to people, and, or, you know, using links to to redirect them is just, it's not, because it's, you know, like that they're doing that without any official, like, you know, being able to do, like, they didn't ask for permission, they didn't, you know, like, it's just like, in my opinion, I honestly think that should almost have some kind of legal you know, issues, because you're you know, it's like you're basically advertising something without any kind of, you know, like, I mean, you can't even listen to music while you're streaming on Twitch without possibly getting banned. So,
DNCA.
you know, like, yeah, so I don't know.
Which they still never clarified that, like, what brought that on.
I mean, to me, that kind of makes sense, though, because it's copyrighted music. It's just a general thing. But somebody posted something. This is totally not about the controller thing, but somebody posted something the other day that said that Spotify and Twitch should, or Amazon Music and Twitch should team up, because of you know, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and you can be able to stream anything if you're a Twitch Pro member. Is that what it's called?
Twitch Prime.
Yeah, and you should be able to stream music from Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Which I thought was actually a pretty decent idea, since, you know, Amazon owns Twitch.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, like, if you think about it, it's no different than if you're listening to music at your house and your friends come over. Are you now doing something illegal because they're hearing music that you're listening to? I don't, like, that kind of stuff is kind of always, like, I get it, like, but now radio stuff doesn't really do a whole lot, and every time you play a song, they're getting paid a fraction, you know, a percentage of money every time you play a song anyways. So, like, it's, It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's no different than the radio.
I think it was the weird thing was it felt like Twitch didn't give nobody heads up that they were going to be DMCA in anybody, even with past content and stuff. Because when it happened, a lot of people were just like, I can't get on Twitch because I be DMCA for something. And it's just like they just did it without telling nobody.
Well, a lot of people too, it was because they went over to Mixer and then they wanted to try to come back, but like I think they broke the rules by streaming on Mixer, and now they weren't allowed back. That was a lot of issues that people were having as well.
But is that more for the people that's well known, or just anybody? Because that was the thing.
Well, if you're you know, like part of Twitch, if you get to the point of where you're affiliation or whatever, and then you go over to Mixer, then you can get banned or be blocked from.
Well, some people who go ahead.
I was just gonna say the rule there is if you're an affiliate, you just can't do like a simul stream. You can stream to. You could have streamed to Mixer. It just can't be. I think it has to be like 24 hours later. You just can't stream the same exact content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think to what you were saying, I get it. Like, people are listening to music in the background, but you know, before, when people are listening to music and they're getting a fraction of that purchase or whatnot, I think a healthier way to go about this would have been, okay, if you are affiliated or if you are what's the other one? Partnered. If you're affiliated or partnered, since you're making money off of these streams, I think what would have been better is, okay, let's take, if you're playing music that is copywritten, then let's take a fraction of what you would have made off of that stream and give it to that artist, instead of just, hey, we're going to mute all of your content or delete your VODs without even checking with you.
And the thing about it, people who just joined Twitch or who played their games on Twitch was nothing. Didn't have no partnership, didn't have no deals, nothing on it. Any music that they had in the past, they got DMCA. So they just did it across the board and told no one. And that's why it was just weird. I'm like, why didn't they give nobody heads up about this? People literally just found out that they got it.
Well, the thing is though is it's always been considered illegal or not something you should do to stream copyrighted music. That's always been an issue, no matter what you're doing it through, no matter where you're doing it. You know, the laws have always been that, like, streaming music without having a permit to do it, like radio stations and stuff have, like they have like a permit to stream that music. Like they're like you know, that's part of being a radio station. So it's always been something that you're not supposed to do, but it's just finally now that they're starting to come harder on people about it.
Because
that's the only difference.
The question was has been DMCA versus fair use, and if you're streaming it and you didn't purchase it, we could see a DMCA. But people feel like if I've gone and actually bought your album, I should have every right that with fair use that I should stream or play a song.
Well, you can listen to it.
You can listen to it.
You can't stream it.
And that's where the argument comes from, is that it should be fair use because I already gave you my money for it.
Well, I mean, technically, if you're listening to it and somebody joins your stream, that makes 1 lost sale, and then if you have 5 people, that's 5 lost sales, and if you get 10 people, that's 10 lost sales. So, like, that's where the issue comes in.
Like when we watch movies, like we can't stream the movies or post them on YouTube or whatever. Even if we're doing commentary over it, I think technically there's certain laws to how you can do something like that and how you can't. Like just because, you know, it's the same thing. I mean, yes, it's a song versus a visual property, but it's still under the same laws. You still can't just share a song with someone without the proper rights to be able to do it.
Right, and I think it's still a legal battle right now with it. I think they haven't made a final decision, and I think that's why some people might do like 30, like you only could do like a certain amount of time before you get DNC. I think it's like 30 seconds or it may be less. That you could like demo the song and then you got to take it off. And so it's something that's still up in the course, and that's why I was just like, that sucks for people who want to play Tony Hawk and stuff, because you can't play it because it has licensed music in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can
that's
play
why
it,
they usually have it where you turn it off.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's why I always stream Jesse's music. So Jesse said I could. So.
Yeah, I said anyone could. Go ahead.
And I wonder, does Twitch has to get permission from the artist? Like, if an artist, they'll say that anyone could use my music, but do Twitch get like a formal letter or something to be like, okay, this artist's music you guys could use?
Well, I mean, it's also, I'm pretty sure it's just like Jesse doesn't have to, because Jesse doesn't have like a label or anything that owns the music, right? That's also where that comes in, where like if you're playing stuff from Tony Hawk or off of Spotify or something, those are all music that's owned by record labels and stuff. So
right, because that's licensed music.
But I mean, if somebody creates their own music and just puts it on SoundCloud or whatever, and they say, oh yeah, you can use it, whatever, like, there's I don't think that's what the issue is. So I don't know.
It's probably, I think it's more related to like the labels, because I've seen a few people that have said, hey, I have made this entire playlist of music that I made myself. It's on Spotify. Save it, and you can play that while you're streaming. But they're not a part of a label, so you don't have to worry about getting copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens with that in the future, because I normally just play the game music because I'm just playing the game that's built in. I don't really feature any artists or anything. No disrespect to you, Jesse, or anything, but I'm playing Okami, and there's some good music in there that I'll get what people to hear. And I don't feel like it don't feel like I'm playing Okami and then like 3-6 Mafia comes in talking about killing people and stuff. I'm sorry. I apologize. But just saying, using that as example, it wouldn't make sense. But we're going to get to our gaming get down, because we all probably have been playing a lot. So I'm going to start with you. What have you been getting down to?
Yeah. So yesterday was a big release day. I ended up going for Paper Mario instead of Ghost of Tsushima. I'll get to Ghost, but I'm also playing Last of Us Part 2, and I don't need two heavy games, so I needed something that was heavy and something that was a palate cleanser. But I'm really, really loving Paper Mario. I'm probably only, 2 hours in, but the charm, the writing, I love it. I understand the criticisms, like not being able to get experience points. I mean, that's not as big of a deal to me, but everything else in the game is fantastic. And then The Last of Us Part 2 has been incredible as well. I know if any of you have played it, but I'm probably about 15 hours in there, and it's making me do stuff that I don't want to do. Like I don't like killing dogs in games. I do. You go for it. So the kills in there are so visceral that it's almost like gut-wrenching. It makes you uncomfortable. Puts a chill down my spine.
It doesn't do, killing animals in games doesn't do nothing for me, because first of all, I'm like, it's just like killing a robot or killing an enemy. It's just data that I'm killing, and their goal is to stop me. And definitely, if a game has a long thing with their loading screen, I'm going to blow you up to the fullest. I don't feel like fighting you after a 5-minute load. So, Mr. Doggy, you got to go bye-bye. Boom. Shot. I don't feel like dealing with none of that. So, I don't... continue.
I feel like I'm that way sometimes. It's just the way that Naughty Dog did, and it's not even like really the shooting that's big of a deal, because that's typically how I'll get rid of them. Like, I don't care if it gives away my position, because those hand-to-hand combat, like the melee kills, those are the ones that are like super gruesome.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like.
The gore porn there.
Yes.
But but they're not that gruesome. I'm just like, okay.
It gets me. It keeps me up at night.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's been pretty difficult to play that game.
I'm like, but you guys been doing this in Metal Gear Solid, and you have not said not one thing about it.
Metal Gear Solid is so tame compared to the last.
But you're you're still grabbing necks and shooting folks. And the only thing that I don't have is the blood. I'm like, but you have done stealth games. You have done this in Assassin's Creed, and you guys didn't say nothing. So why is it now in a Naughty Dog game or The Last of Us Part 2, y'all want to be like, oh, I feel something? I'm like, no, you just
it's more realistic looking. I think that's part of it too. Is we're getting to a point where, you know, like some devs have said that, like, you know, at some point we're gonna have to just decide that to not make things look as realistic as we possibly could, because it's going to be like, you know, like literally killing someone, and you know, like it's gonna look so realistic that, you know, if we were to continue doing that. And that I think that game is just so, like, did a really good job of being so realistic looking that it's cringeworthy. It's like where Metal Gear and all that stuff are still pretty cheesy and corny looking, and it just isn't. It doesn't have that realistic factor to it.
But it's go ahead.
But even taking it away from like the gruesome factor, like you look at the intentional nature of the combat situations within The Last of Us Part 2, where they gave NPCs names. So as the WLF, as they're doing patrols, if you kill one, it's not like in like Metal Gear or some other game where you're just killing another crony who doesn't have a name or a family. You know, you kill someone and they're like, oh my gosh, they got Ricky. And like you hear them actually getting angry and them crying because like their friend is dead. And so they worked really hard to put that in there.
But you did the same thing in beat 'em up stuff. They all had names.
Yeah, but that's boring. Like it's like cheesy.
Different. Like beating up
they're
Rocksteady
pixelated.
and Bebop
They're not.
Yeah.
But
photorealistic humans.
But if we're going with names, I'm just like, well, just load the game back. Ricky would be back if you just load it. If you just go back.
Maybe not. I mean, I think now that we're, you know, like you said before, we're starting to get into a point where games are more realistic, and if you start adding in features like permadeath, like it might not be something that's a big deal to some people, but like I think about when I played through State of Decay 2. It got to the point where I'm protecting my people. Like, this is my camp. This is my house. You know, I care about what happens to Jayla. And then if Jayla doesn't make it on our next outing when we're going to get supplies, like that, at least for me personally, like that impacted me. Like, are you kidding me? Like, there's no way to get her back because she's dead.
Yeah.
And I've worked so hard to take care of her and her brother. We lost Anthony already. And like, we saw her enter like her sadness and her depressive states. And I think we're just getting to that point where games are adding more and more realism to where we're gonna start to feel things. And if we don't, then that's fine too. But for me, I absolutely
it may just be a me thing. It's just like of course I think that when the stuff is just like TVDS, I've seen all of this. I've seen movies. I think I just got so normalized to it that I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. And I'm just like, I've seen all of this before. They're doing nothing new. What I'm seeing on screen is nothing new. So I don't have a reaction to it. And I think it's people who feel like, well, you haven't seen enough horror movies, or you haven't read stories, or you hear violent stuff on the news, but you still just be like, oh, it's just the news and stuff. It shouldn't take a game for you to actually feel stuff when all of this stuff has been here before, and you're not just taking notice of it because it's in a AAA game.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that gets into like a larger scale thing when you talk about desensitization and you know, people's exposure into violence. that I feel like that's a larger discussion, but like I think just on like because I'll perform like an execution on Apex, and that doesn't bother me at all to see like Lifeline like knock somebody out or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's I think it just, and I don't say this as a downer at all to the Naughty Dog devs. I think props to them for making it so realistic that it made me have a physical reaction. But yeah, I think it's that argument in particular is like bigger.
Which is weird because I get a satisfaction when I'm stealthing them. I get a satisfaction when a dog runs into one of my bomb plants and they blow up. You know, when I get a good shot, a good shot, because it's just like, okay, I'm taking them down because that's the purpose of the game, and I'm able to move forward. Or I could be smart about it, dip through everybody, get to the next section, and I just did a fight that I didn't even have to do.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, just other than that, between that and Paper Mario, sometimes I'll get into SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated as a nice comfort food game, but no, it's mainly those two right now.
How are you enjoying Paper Mario?
I really enjoying Paper Mario. Like I said before, the charm. I played some on stream last night for the first time, and the writing is as clever as ever. The visuals are fantastic. Like whenever Nintendo puts out a first party title, I'm literally just like slack-jawed just at how beautiful the game is, because they really do a great job.
I put on my Twitter page when they come in the Mario Kart. It's the big town thing. I was just like, okay, this is Mario Kart 9 right here. I'm loving everything about it so far. I've actually, like, when it comes to the Paper Mario series, I've never beaten Thousand Year Door, and the only game that I've ever finished is Super Paper Mario on the Wii. So, like, as far as like other Mega fans, I don't have like too many like I don't have too many cares as far as like how the game is played and how it goes. I'm having a great time as it is. Yes.
Nice.
Well, boss, what have you been getting down to?
Besides Destiny, I've been playing a lot of Crosscode. A lot, and I mean like 2 hours of Crosscode. I've played about 2 hours of it. It's like it's kind of the story is you're trapped in an MMORPG. It's basically like a single player action RPG, but the story takes place in an MMO, and your character kind of has amnesia, and you're trying to save a friend who is like physically stuck in the MMO. His consciousness is, and it's kind of like, I don't know if any of you played the dot hack games for PS2. But it's essentially that's essentially the storyline so far. So but the combat feels really good. It has a really satisfying dodge mechanic, honestly, and the combat's great. I have it on there's 5 difficulty levels, and I have it on, there's the story mode, which is just like you don't have to grind or level up or anything, and I just have it on easy because I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the time to be trying to master this game. I just want to see it because it looks cool. But the pixel art's really beautiful. The just the way the characters move around the world feels kind of like a Link to the Past mixed with kind of old school brawlers almost. Like just the way they move just looks really nice, and it's on Game Pass, but I'm playing it on Switch. It's really a cool game. I really highly recommend it to anybody who's into really any type of action RPG.
Yeah, like I told you, I'm getting it Thursday.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So I don't really want to spoil any story stuff because the story is actually really interesting so far. I'm actually quite into it. So, but yeah, I mean, I know what.
Oh, I wonder how long the game is in total. I wonder if it's like a 30 or 40 hour RPG.
I don't know. It's been out on Steam for a while, I guess, but it's just making its way to consoles. So I know that audience is going to grow. So,
you said it was on Game Pass also, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder, did PS4 get it?
Yeah. All the consoles got it. So I've been playing that. I've been playing Streets of Rage 4. I ended up getting it on Switch too.
Yes.
I know it's on Game Pass, but I had so much fun with it, and it's just like a fun kind of. I don't need to think about anything really while we're watching TV or my kids playing or anything, so I just been playing it. What?
Play with me, Corey.
No.
I want to play.
No.
Play with me.
You'll just yell at me about how bad I suck at beat 'em ups and how Streets of Rage 2 is the greatest beat 'em up of all time.
No,
and
I want to
this
help you.
music sucks compared to Streets of Rage 2.
No, I want to help you in Streets of Rage 4. I want to play with you in Streets of Rage 4.
I can just hear it. I can hear it.
I don't know if I've ever played any Streets of Rage games.
I don't
I feel like I have, but I can't recall any of them.
I don't think I have either, to be honest with you. I think that this is my first one.
So if you didn't own a Sega Genesis, the 6-game card that was on the Dreamcast or the Genesis collection, you probably haven't played it because those is Streets of Rage. Oh no, Xbox Live because they have a Streets of Rage collection on there too for the 360. And it's backwards compatible on Xbox One, so they got all 3 games together. So if you haven't played it on those pieces, they're available there.
Yeah, I still have my Dreamcast and my Genesis, my Saturn. So, but I don't think I just ever got around to picking them up. Played Power Stone. That's not the same thing.
Do you still have that? Do you have Power Stone?
No, I'm starting to curate this list of games that I loaned out to friends that I never got back, and Power Stone's one of them.
Ooh, that's rough.
Because that game is like worth like what, like $600 or something
Super
insane, or almost like $1,000 or.
Yeah. And everybody's been trying to get Capcom to re-release the game, and they won't do it.
Yeah.
Well, because it's the Wind Waker situation. It was on Dreamcast, and then it got stuck on PSP. So, rip Power Stone.
But you've been playing another beat 'em up, Corey.
Another beat 'em up? I have?
Yes. You talked about it on Power Block.
Did I? What was I playing?
It deals with a school.
Now. I gotta go look now.
It deals with 2 girls.
Oh, River City Girls. Yeah, I've been playing River City Girls.
I was like, where's he going with
this?
I'm
like,
it deals with a school.
What's happening? Yeah, no.
School girls.
Yeah, River City Girls is really good.
They took down that waifu gang. It was like waifu girls or something. It looked like a shoot 'em up, but I think they had some uncensored stuff in there, so they had to take it down. And it just came out.
Is it related to River City Ransom at all? Or is that just it is? Okay.
The River City Girls, yeah.
Yeah. The AKA like the Renegade series.
Okay.
But they have it in for it's part of that.
Yeah. River City Ransom was dope, so if they're related, I'd love to try River City Girls.
Yeah. It's the girls version, like the guys from that game, I think it's their girlfriends.
Okay.
They the ones that get kidnapped, and the girlfriends are now going to save them.
Okay. It's like Grease. You're playing the girls' side of the song. The guy says,
I feel like more games need to
tell me more.
Wow. Talk about a copyright strike here.
That's yes.
But that was less than and I sang it horribly, so they probably won't even be able to tell what song it was.
I don't know. I think you sounded pretty good, Jesse.
Wow.
Pitch was perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, River City Girl. Sorry, my wife was asking me a question. My wife. River City Girls is great. Definitely. I don't know. I got sucked into Crosscode, so I kind of put River City Girls down. But it's still really good. If you want a really classic beat 'em up, this is the most classic beat 'em up you could possibly play right now. And I guess they're making a sequel or DLC or something. Way Forward said so. They said the River City Girls will be back. So I want to finish this before that one comes out because it's really, really good.
So I've been working on Bakugan now.
Yeah, I know.
Wait for is big enough to work on a whole bunch of projects.
Why can't Way Forward make Kid Icarus or Metroid for me, please.
See, I want Kid Icarus. There have not been enough Kid Icarus games.
There was that really awesome 3DS one that cramps your hands if you play it.
Yeah.
I think because of Mercury System doing Samus Returns, I think they would do Kid Icarus. I think Nintendo trusts them now.
I think they'll make another 2D.
Said it a million times. Said it a million times. That Kid Icarus Paperboy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make that shirt. I'm gonna make that shirt, Jesse. I'm just gonna have Pitt riding a bike, flying in the air, throwing paper at people.
I would love that, dude. I would buy that shirt.
Can you? That little demon thing that when you hit it, it turns to that skeleton head and makes that music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every video game rock band that covers video game music always does that song.
So I've been playing that. I've been playing Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark, which is a tactical. It's like Tactics Ogre and Final Fantasy Tactics. It's basically just a really, really deep version of that. It's very the art style took a little bit to grow on me, but it's growing on me. But the gameplay and the combat is really, really well done. I can't stop playing it because it's scratching that Fire Emblem itch in a different way, and it's really fun. It's really cool. I'm only about an hour and a half in, I would say, but I really highly recommend it. It's very, very, very well done. And then, of course, I've been playing Destiny, a lot of Destiny. So I got Outbreak perfected and Whisper of the Worm this past week, which was very exciting. Those are two weapons I sorely needed, and now that they've extended the season till November 10th, I will be grinding out the rest of those exotic weapons I do not have. I don't care if they're good or not. I'm just gonna go get them. So
what does the meta favor right now?
Well, I don't know about competitive. I know pulse rifles are still big. I know scout rifles pretty much you should just trash them all right now.
They've been nerfed.
Oh yeah. Scout rifles are just not great to have. Shotguns are pretty favored right now, especially like Seventh Seraph and the Ikelos shotgun from the Prophecy Dungeon. Not the one from Escalation Protocol. It has to be the one from the Prophecy Dungeon because it's weird if you get it from Escalation Protocol, it's not moving forward, but if you get it from the Prophecy Dungeon, it is moving forward. So it's the same.
Just different rollouts.
Yeah, it's the same gun. I mean,
that's weird.
Yeah, I don't really understand their whole
reason behind it.
Yeah, well, like it's weird because they're like we're sunsetting every weapon that's not from this season or from this year moving forward, but they're just reissuing old weapons so they move forward. So like
they did that in Destiny 1.
Yeah, they did do that a lot, and especially when the light level stuff changed. But it's just like, I don't know. To me, it doesn't really make sense because they already upped everything to 750 already. So I don't know. It's just it. So I'm gonna have to run the Prophecy Dungeon to try to get the shotgun, but even though I already have the shotgun, which is it's awesome. I love that thing so much. But and then. Yeah, I guess if you're raiding, you need to have Whisper. Apparently, it's like the new Galahorn. If you're gonna raid, you need Whisper so you can do optimum damage. So that's. I don't really use sniper rifles at all, but whatever. Also, heavy machine guns are back, which got me excited because I love Hammerhead, which is
sweet
Black Armory heavy machine gun. So.
Oh, I wish you could just say that in the metal. What's the SNK one? Not Metal Arms. We'd be like heavy machine gun.
I don't know.
Metal Slug.
Metal Slug, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ed, I don't understand some of the words that come out of your mouth most of the time. So
there's a thing called heavy machine gun, and then also be like heavy machine gun, and I wish you would say it that way when you talk about that in Destiny.
maybe they'll just get Zavala to say it like that when you pull it out. Heavy machine gun. So that's kind of it. I've been trying to work on a bunch of things since live shows are kind of be a thing for us moving forward. I'm trying to make new backgrounds that incorporate animations and stuff. So just to spice things up, I would say. So I this coming week, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm not going to be doing very many shows, I don't think, this coming week because I'm working on that. But yeah, that's kind of it.
I found a cool program for that if you ever want.
You did?
Yeah. Because I used it for the game chat background. I've got like the different emblems and controllers. Every once in a while we'll do like this like static flicker in the background. Nothing like too distracting, but something every once in a while. It's a little visual treat.
Nice. We might be talking after the show about that.
In the verse you will.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, what games have you been getting down to?
So I bought a couple of games on Switch that I've kind of been looking to get. I had a little extra money because I had sold my steering wheel thing that I had that I really didn't want to get rid of. Mm-hmm. But I was like, well, I could get $140 some for it if I sell it. So I might as well, because, with Paper Mario and everything coming out, I'm like, it would be nice to have the little bit of extra money. So I ended up getting Sonic Mania, and I played that a little bit, which I enjoyed it. I liked, everything felt good and everything, well, better. I think it felt better than like some of those older games, but yeah, played that quite a bit when I got it, and then more recently I ended up picking up the new Bubsy game on there as well, and my first impressions, I'm not super impressed with it. I prefer the older Bubsy stuff where it's, actual platforming and, and stuff like that. I don't know if it's just the beginning part that's the, the auto runner or whatever you call them, the auto scroller, I should say. And so like that, I wasn't too happy about that, but I also, it was on sale. I think I bought it for like $4 or something like that. So I figured $4, whatever. If I don't like it, it's $4. Wow,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to play it a little bit more. See if it kind of just changes. If it's kind of like Mario type thing where certain levels are different, different ways you play them or whatever. I do like that there's like the whole 3 character thing. You have to play every level with all 3 characters in order to progress to the next level, which is kind of interesting. And I do like that, like each character has like their own unique abilities, like obviously with Bubsy, if you do you push the jump button, you hold it, then he does that kind of floating thing that he does.
Yeah.
And then there's this one like nerdy, I forget what animal he is. And he's like wearing a colander on his head with all these electronics on it and stuff. And he does a double jump instead of the floaty thing. So like you have to jump and then jump again. And then the chick is like this alien, and she's in a little flying saucer that can shoot. And so like when you play the levels, you're playing at like a shoot 'em up. So I do like that it like really kind of just gives you all these different genres of games to play all in one, but you're playing on the same level, you're just doing it differently.
Yeah.
So like I think it's something that I probably might get into. My first impression, when you're expecting something, and it's something different. It's not always a great start, but I think honestly, I'm gonna give it some more time and play it and see what I think of it. I will say that, like, as far as for being an upgrade and like the graphics and everything, I really like the direction. Like I think they did a good job of updating all that, and things look good and stuff like that. Compared to the old ones. So I'm, for the most part, pay $4. I'm enjoying it. I think it's still on sale on there, but and then I also did get Paper Mario, and I just absolutely love that game so far. I think I'm about an hour and a half or so in, and just like it reminded me a lot of the reasons why I loved Mario Rabbids so much. Like they just do perfectly on the humor. They do perfectly on like the interactions with characters. They do perfect. Like everything about it is just absolutely perfect so far. And being someone who, honestly, I prefer Mario in these kind of games. I don't, like the 2D Mario games and stuff, or the 3D Mario, 3D World games. I'm not really super big into like the actual 3D games as much, but I don't know. Whenever something like this that's like kind of off the beaten path of a regular Mario game, I almost always end up really enjoying it. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing that more, and like I like the unique kind of system, the circle system that they use for the battling and stuff.
Yeah,
is fun and interesting. It's almost like it's like having to solve a puzzle before you have to, before you fight them, almost.
Yeah, a little bit of resource management in there too. You have so much time, so many rotations you can do. I like that aspect.
Yeah, it's very similar in some ways to like I said, like Mario Rabbids, where you've got to kind of sometimes think about like what things you're gonna do, or how, you got to try to just minimize your actions, and try to make sure that you're doing everything as tightly as possible.
Yeah.
And Mario Rabbids was a little bit more forgiving in the regular story, but man, if you play those side missions that exist, some of those are like damn near impossible.
Hey, some of those boss battles were brutal.
Yeah. Some of them did get pretty challenging, but man, those extra stuff that's just after you beat the game, I don't know how you beat some of those, man. Like I was just like, this is way too hard. I'm just getting bombarded like just instantly by characters, and I just don't know how this is possible.
Yeah. Did you do the DK stuff?
No, I didn't actually. I still need to go back and do some of the. I think I did start it, but I didn't finish all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't started it either. I wanted to hear more opinions on it because I like Mario vs. Rabbids is one of my favorite games of that year.
Yeah.
Just talking about it makes me want to go back and play it again.
I know, I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. But that DK stuff is a reason to do it.
Yeah. Plus you can start the DK stuff
it's free,
without...
isn't it?
No, it's not. It's like $20.
No.
Is it?
But you can actually play the DK stuff without ever actually touching the main game. Because you don't use any of the characters except for Rabbid Peach. So it actually, on the main menu, it just says, when you go to hit new game, does it say the first adventure, and then it says the Donkey Kong adventure or whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's all, Jesse?
Other than, I'm still trying to every day that I can stream the first Dead Space on Twitch. So I've been doing that. And then I'll probably, I'm still contemplating if I want to go jump right into Dead Space 2 or if I want to play something, take a break and play something else. Because I've kind of really been wanting to go back to the new Modern Warfare campaign and play through it again, because it's still, I think, is by far my favorite Call of Duty campaign to date. Just the, like, and kind of going back to how The Last of Us 2 kind of thing. Like I had some of those same kind of like feelings on a different level, like not like more of the like the killing people, but the section when you're going through the apartment complex, clearing every room on every level, and like it's just dark in there, and all you've got is like the flashlights on the end of your gun, and it just, you get that immersion. It's just like, okay, man, like who's gonna be behind this door? It got like, I really got immersed into it, and it really like made me nervous playing it. Like it just, like, they did a really good job of that part. But yeah, I just kind of want to go experience that again, because I honestly forgot about a lot of the story and stuff that just, a lot of stuff going through my brain. So I've just kind of forgotten about it. I'd like to go back to it maybe again, and then stream that, and then maybe play Dead Space 2, and then eventually 3. So yeah, that, that's mostly what I've been playing. I'm sure there's other stuff that I played on Xbox, but I jump into things for like a little bit of time, and then move on to something else sometimes.
I've been kind of like,
and Okami I've been trying to play.
Yeah.
So
I just keep jumping. Like I'll put a game on, and if it doesn't load in fast enough, I'm like, I don't know if I really feel like playing this to wait for it to load.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done that too.
And then I'll sit there and wait for Destiny to load up for 5 minutes, and I'm like, yeah Destiny. Yeah. Terrible.
This hurts me so much.
What?
I put a book club game. Y'all not really playing my book club game.
I'm playing it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not playing
game?
It's Okami is our book club game. We still need to talk about Tomb Raider. We still need to do our Tomb Raider book club at some point.
All right. Everybody who had a book club game, that Jesse and Corey, they put out their book club game, and I paid them to the end. And this is my month, and no one's really playing mine. So sad this has swallowed me up on me.
Well, listen, you can add Asa to that list, because I would be happy. I never finished. I think I probably got maybe 30 minutes into Okami.
Oh, so you watched the opening cutscene.
I watched the opening cutscene and then played just a little bit, but it was just at a friend's house because he got it. Because at the time I had PS2, so
yeah, I beat it on PS. Yeah, we're doing the HD version.
I hear great things about it, so I'd love to.
And it's something that for Jesse and Corey, that is something that they never play, and it was just like, these are games, like, this is a game I think you guys could get into because it's a Zelda style game. Of course, it's Japanese, but I'm like, it's something that you guys never really got to experience. So I wanted them to experience it freshly, because I'm like, they're not going to beat it. You guys not going to beat it in 12 days. There's no way that you guys are going to dedicate 12 days to beat this game.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I'll finish it.
Have you finished Tomb Raider?
I'm at the end.
I think I've got like 5 or 4 hours or 5 hours into it so far of Okami. Yeah, well, yeah, it's just, I should have honestly got it on my Xbox because I'm more likely to play it on there.
I mean, so I did my dude. I'm doing my dude. I got just one more think I like about 2 or 3 more bosses, and then I'm done with the game for Okami HD.
To be fair, Ed, you do have a lot more time than we do to play games.
Yeah, but book club is like that we got a book club game that should take priority at least.
Yeah, don't put your child down for a nap. Play Okami HD.
I know.
I mean, of course you can play anything that you want to play, but it's just like, okay, I know, let me spend one day at least playing the book club game and then spend that time doing it. I'm like, because you guys were hyped by doing this. I was hyped for doing it. We made a list. We said that we would play it. We would do shows for it. I have kept my bargain up for it.
No, well, I know.
More like Ed, I found out this existed. I gave you guys games. He said, "Hey, give me games to pick for it," and I'm like, yeah, this."
Because next month is Rhyme, and I already got Rhyme ready to go on PlayStation. Like I'm ready to play. Play Rhyme, huh?
What is Rhyme?
Yeah.
You said
so. It's your game, Jesse, next month. So I'm already got that ready to go.
I don't. I gotta re-download it. I think.
Oh, dude, it's leaving Game Pass too. So.
Yep.
I think I bought it. I think I bought it outright, anyways.
I have it on Switch, which is not the place to be playing that game, but that's just me.
So, yeah, Okami HD I played on Xbox. Might as well roll into what I played. I streamed Mega Man 2 last Sunday, but it didn't say for my Twitch thing. I don't know why. I'm thinking of Mixer, which weirdly they took Mixer off Xbox One and didn't tell nobody. Like, oh, I thought this was still going to be on to the 22nd.
It is. It's still on my dashboard. Mixer, it's still there for me because I have it right at the top.
Right, but I can't stream through Mixer. Can't broadcast it at all on Xbox One.
Well, I mean, it's probably for the best since doesn't exist after next week. So
yeah, they're just like, let it go, man.
Because that's where I was streaming Okami. I was doing like an hour or two of Okami. I was streaming it and then downloading it. I almost beat Mega Man 2 within an hour, but I died on Quick Man stage with the laser beams, and then I got the bomb thing boss kind of stopped me. So I only had like 2 more things I needed to do, and I could have beat it. So. But that's what I played on Xbox. For PlayStation 4, I did pick up Ghost of Tsushima. This game is gorgeous. This game puts, I'm sorry to say it, this game's put Horizon Zero Dawn and The Last of Us Part 2 to shame.
I could see that for The Last of Us for sure.
This game made those 2 games look old, like they still belong on PS3. I seen it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a PS5 game. It's gorgeous, like the lighting, the area, the wind, just like, man, Sucker Punch really went all in. This is the way to go out with a bang. Yeah, Sony, like they did a fantastic job. The combat is kind of take it or leave it at this point. But it's not bad. It's not difficult. It's really easy to learn to get into. You just got to pay attention. What I don't like about it is if you don't change your analog stick for the camera, it's inverted. So if you're pressing left, it turns the camera right, and vice versa. Like it's flight controllers, like you was doing like Star Fox or something. So if you're not into that, you have to fix it. It's very weird on how they do it. When you're walking, it's like over the shoulder, but you can still see your character. But when you get into fights, it opens up in a sense. And it's just like, that's an interesting choice. I would rather it just be opened up all the way instead of having it there. But the fights are good. The loading screen don't take long to do. You literally could go anywhere and take pictures and stuff like that. I haven't did like the some of the other stuff that they offer, like the monotone look. I haven't did that yet. But voice acting is good. Cutscenes are great. It's really it really is a great game. I would literally put it up there though with Horizon. For me, Horizon and The Last Guardian, I put it up there as some of the best PlayStation 4 games. To all like and show on your TV. And the reason why I say it blows The Last of Us Part 2 away is that the Last of Us Part 2 is a good technical looking game. Everything else is just like, okay, whatever. Like the lighting in The Last of Us Part 2, yeah, that subway scene, the subway where it's red and dark.
Yes. Oh, that scene's so good.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of visual, like everything looks pretty samey throughout.
Yeah. So Ghost of Tsushima I think that really deserves and earns a spot for a Game of the Year nomination. It really does. How people want to do The Last of Us Part 2, that's going to be a controversy. I don't know how that's going to go, but Ghost of Tsushima, everybody's really enjoying it who's playing it. Paper Mario, this game, like I said, has straight shot up to the top of my Game of the Year nomination. This game is literally funny. There's one section you get to in the beginning. Bowser, he's already folded up and everything. Mm-hmm. And one of the origami villains come out. It's a Shy Guy, and they're talking and everything. And Bowser in the back being shady as ever. He's just like, I'm here, and that's dysfunctional, because it's just these little clips that Bowser is doing, and I caught it. I'm just like, I had to stop and put the game down, and I fell out laughing. I was just like, oh, the writing is about to be top notch in this game. The battles are really easy to get into right now. They're not really hard. So I think it's probably going to evolve later on. And yeah, I'm fine with it not having no experience system. It feels like a nice action Mario game, just it plays differently. That's it. So you do get a lot of coins though, because I'm like at 3,000 coins at this time. And then people who are watching Twitter, they probably are seeing the tree section where there's 3 trees that's singing with a big stump. So if you haven't played the game,
that's where you're at.
I passed that part. So I'm going now to town. But yeah, graphically the game looks beautiful. I love when Nintendo do their arts and crafts stuff, or just different different art styles that once again nobody is doing. Like this Paper Mario really looks good, and seeing it on my TV, I need color splash on it. I don't care. 1,000-Year Door don't come to it. I need color splash on it because it looks. Just seeing what they did with this Paper Mario, it looks gorgeous in the.
Yeah, they do really good with textures.
Yeah. Ghost, I was just like on my Twitter page, just putting pictures. If you just look for the left, like this game is gorgeous. This spot right here, this shot right here, very cinematic. Like they did that thing. Last but not least, I played Hop for Switch, making more progress, and I am determined to finish that game because, like me and Corey, we bought it and we played it, thought it was okay, and then we put it down. But I'm going to be determined to finish that game and get through it and stuff. But that's pretty much everything I've been getting down to. But everybody, that is going to be the show.
I have one comment before we end. Zombie is in our Twitch chat, and she says, "Jesse, I got my shirt and I love it."
Yeah, I seen that because I got that for like 2 months ago. It took forever to get there.
And Zombie, I did read your tweet thing. Sorry that did happen to you. That's crazy bunkers, literally crazy bunkers, and hopefully something good come out of it. And I'm glad that you are all right and everything. So, and also everybody, shout out to, well, not really a shout out, but rest in peace to John Lewis, who passed away. He was a civil rights leader. So I just want to, bring that up, to show, my condolences and everything, or should pretty much show all our condolences, because he was a leader for a lot of things, and it's sad to see him go and everything. Please, Trump, do not be at his funeral or anything like that. We don't need no tweet or nothing. Keep your crazy self away from me. Or I should say that I could put it in the White House.
But Ed, didn't somebody tell you at your job that you were a Trump supporter?
Yes, they did. Which over some cigarettes.
That's a story for a different day. That was funny though.
I have one other thing though too that I wanted to. Did you guys watch the trailer then for the Crisis Remastered on Switch?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I mean, I watched the trailer. I don't know. Yeah. It looks like the 360 version, to be honest with you, which is now backwards compatible on.
Well, although I don't think it had like the exploding building tech and stuff in the original one, did it?
I don't know. I didn't play that much of it.
Yeah, I think like the exploding building, like they added like the Battlefield style exploding building stuff to it, and like if you shoot through plants, the plants will actually move, like as the bullets go through them and stuff like that. I think they were showing all that tech off because it's all new stuff that they added to it. But still, I thought it looked really good on Switch though for being what it is.
Because it comes out in about 2 more weeks.
Yeah, well, no, it comes out. It comes
the
out
30th.
the 23rd, I think.
It's the 23rd. It's next week.
Oh, it's next week. Okay.
So.
But everybody, that is going to be the show. Once again, thank you, Asa. Where can we find? Go ahead and plug.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @AGreenRiver07. And then more importantly, you can follow Borderline Entertainment pretty much everywhere. Twitch.tv/Borderline Entertainment, where I try to stream as much as I can. You guys know that dad life. And we have our flagship show, Game Chat, is back. In fact, we got an episode tomorrow with Zombie, so super excited about that. And yeah, I mean, otherwise, just hit me up on Twitter. It's the best place to reach me.
Yeah. Lord of the Skies says that I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, I bet you are.
Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Twitch at Corey in HD and a plethora of other content here on Boss Rush Games.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. You can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps. Do check out the latest 1v1 where me and LaRon D, Exodus 803, have a 3-hour discussion of straight nerdiness. It's literally good. It's even when we was trying to end the show, we were still going over nerd stuff.
I mean, to be fair, the episode is only 2 hours long, but there's also an hour of extra footage that I kept in there after the show is over because it was so good. I couldn't not leave it in there. Like, I know people don't really care for like super long podcasts sometimes, but like it's worth listening to the full 3 hours. It was really good.
Yes. And hopefully the Rob will be joining us on Boss Rush Games. We're in talks. Hopefully he comes and join the family, because he said he feels like he's part of the family, and I can see him here. So but yeah, everybody do check that out. We do got some more 1v1s coming. I got 2 interviews, and I can't tell you who they are, but I am super excited for the people that I will be doing a 1v1 with. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and as always, let's continue to play video games and be better to one another. With that, we will see you next time on Boss Rush Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Podcast I listened to earlier.